right, we are ready.
Ready.
I'm JT Grimm here on the One Bourbon, One Cigar Small Business Podcast, where we are all about. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Episode 10.
Oh yeah, this is episode 10 here,
Nice.
and we're here with Michelle and Mike. Meeks, Michael Meeks of Divergent Security Solutions, and we're all about promoting small business, letting small businesses promote themselves, talk about themselves, and just have a good old conversation, have some fun. So, without further ado, if you guys could just introduce yourself, tell us about maybe a little about yourselves, maybe what else people would describe you as, what your business and services are, and then maybe some quick advice you would give, and then we'll expand on those questions later on. But just kind of touch on those a little bit for us.
All right, well, ladies first.
I'm Michelle Meeks. Been married to Michael, or been with Michael since '96. Married in 2003.
Ooh, same year as me. 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yep.
Rock on. Cool. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
3 boys, a 17-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
2 redheads.
Okay.
A dog and a cat. And yeah.
You guys must go through food like crazy with boys like that.
Yeah, my youngest has become the thick one.
Okay, all right.
He just turned 10 this Saturday. Yeah, just watching him not fit and stuff, just funny,
Okay.
But yeah, he'll be bigger than the oldest one, Aiden, who's 6'1".
Yeah, he's tall. I've seen him, yes. Yes,
yeah,
he's
they're
tall.
a lot of fun.
Okay.
They're a lot of fun.
How about you, Michael?
Well,
You've been married for 20 years too?
Yeah, we have. Whatever she said, I'd do.
Okay, yeah.
I like long walks on the beach.
All right. Well, who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't?
With a cigar and some bourbon. And, but no, we both met in high school, and
Okay.
Lord just brought us in together and grew us together. I mean,
A lot of
it's
buffing.
a lot of work.
A lot of
Okay,
buffing.
yeah,
It's not
no,
easy.
you are absolutely right about that.
Yeah, she's always right. 100% of the time.
Well, you've learned now. You've learned correctly, as have I.
Because we allowed them, allow them to be correct. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. Anyway, Michael.
You told me that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. I said that off camera. All right. Well, how would you describe yourself? Just give us a little bit about who you are, both. Just maybe an insight to who you are. Said we'll expand on this further, but just to kind of let people know what you're about, what means something to you, what your character's like, things like that.
We're polar opposites, that's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely opposites. No, I'd like to, whether it's right or there's a right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's determined, but as long as you're doing the positive thing.
Okay.
Sometimes it not be the right thing, but it's the positive thing.
Sure. Yes.
So, I like to, just converse with people, talk with folks, and just see how they, who they are. I mean, we all have our own stories, and everybody has their own story.
He's an analyzer.
Well, I was gonna say you're probably
He's an
very good at
analyzer.
observing people.
Yeah,
And,
everybody likes to talk, so I just sit there and listen.
well, yeah, they tell a lot. You can
Oh, yeah.
they reveal a lot about themselves
Oh, yeah.
without you ever having to ask a question.
No, definitely. And I like to people watch on, like we're somewhere having dinner and be like, hey, check this out,
And we teach our boys that too.
Okay.
Did you see anything funny about that person?
So is your radar always on for stuff like that?
Oh
then?
yeah. It's more of a, like a sixth sense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Seventh sense.
Self-awareness,
Sit there,
or situational awareness.
Situational awareness, so definitely. Because you have a lot going on. I mean, you have your kids with you, you have your families with you, you have friends with you, and especially in today's world, you never know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Like I tell her, sometimes I feel safer when I'm in other countries at war than I do, here in your own.
Okay. You already know what to
States. Yeah.
expect over there.
Right.
Sure.
You already know what's coming. Here it's kind of like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen?
Ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
But and you always have your loved ones. And I'd rather something happen to me than to one of my kids.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Michelle.
And we're all about making memories. The big, the little, setting time apart too, like you do. Just so your kids grow up and say, hey, what was a legacy mom and dad left behind? I know mine, I know his parents, and now we're picking and choosing what we liked, what we didn't like, and of course we try to make it better.
Yeah.
So they look and say, wow, dad actually said he was going to do something, he did, and he went above and beyond. Dad built this with me, or dad took us somewhere. Even with me, he does that with me as well.
You're not just present, or no, you're more than present. You're there actually
And I don't know what your
You know.
thoughts are, but I definitely gotta get to heaven before she does, because she gets there before me. She won't let me in.
Yeah. St. Peter, sorry. Do not let
Yeah.
that guy in.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe yourself then, Michelle? Just briefly.
Well, like I said, we're both very opposite. I know in life and in business we complement each other. It took a long time to figure that out.
Sure.
He's very introvert. I'm very extrovert. I laugh because my mother is the person that will walk down the street and just talk to complete strangers, and you
That's
wonder,
my mom too.
what is she? Why is she even talking? Just walk. And I'm saying that I am that way too. I love to get to know people. I love to talk to people. I like to make people who look uncomfortable feel comfortable. I like
Well,
to
you
put a
guys
smile
are a
on their
perfect
face.
guest. I love this.
Yeah, make them feel.
All right.
So yeah, that's my I guess my goal. But also I have a side that you cross me, you will never forget.
Okay.
So
All right.
It's taken a long time for that to
Yeah,
kind of
like-
simmer down, because I grew up in a military family. My dad was very strict.
Okay.
So it made me very wild. Very just quick.
Rebellious?
Well, yeah, rebellious, but I didn't think. I did, and then I thought.
Oh,
so I tell
okay.
everybody, think and then do. Don't do and then think.
You
know.
can save yourself a lot of grief.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've had some hard lessons, individually and together.
Okay.
But God has been good.
Right on. Absolutely. How would others describe you if I were to run in to one of your friends or your family? How would they describe you? What's something that like I said, we'll expand on this further, but
Yeah.
just.
There
Well,
were
I'll give my assessment
Okay.
then. I 100% agree. Extrovert.
Yeah.
Just meaning you like to have, but I've seen you more like bourbon
Yeah.
nights and stuff. So you really like to have fun. I can see that about Michael a little bit. I like you're a little quieter, but I can
Dangerous
see.
thinker.
No, but I think like you said, you're in the room, you're observing. You can't turn that off.
No.
Right.
Just like what I do for a living. When I walk into someone's house, I'm like, I can't look at that. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to judge it. I
Yeah.
can't not look at a home and pick apart everything in it.
Right.
And so,
But
but
it is, and because I've been there, when I was younger,
Yeah.
you let it loose, and the next thing you know, you wake up in the backyard not knowing what happened for the previous 3 hours or something.
Okay.
And at a,
My friends.
had a friend's party, and then we're over, we're on a cruise, and I really got somehow I guess
We
between
went
the boat
snorkeling.
rocking and the drinking.
Nobody
Yeah.
wanted their tequila shot, so he
Yeah,
didn't want to
so-
waste the tequila.
Tequila, thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, yes, before
Hey, that's all
before
good.
before we get started, we usually like to, and usually we are going to, we like to take a little glass of Clase Azul. This is the tequila of choice here on the podcast. You can sponsor us whenever you want there, Clase Azul. Anyway, we like to take a hit of this to kind of loosen things up. So cheers, you guys. Yeah, better. It's very good. Now, you guys said you won one of these at a
Yeah,
bourbon night.
have an
Now
open-
you'll know what it's all about. Mm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's actually pretty good.
There's no like a.
No burn
Harsh
at all.
bite.
No,
This
it's
is
sweet.
dangerous.
Yeah, believe me.
Yeah, I just one bloodshot of sauce.
I have numerous empty bottles from these things. Yes. So anyway, back to drinking too much tequila or
so
something.
and that's how it starts.
Okay.
You give me one, and the next thing you know, it's like I'll be
But
under
it was
the table.
hot. It was hot, but it was rocky.
Yeah, it
He
was-
took me out snorkeling, scuba diving, whatever.
Ooh, I'm burning now.
The comeback, yeah.
So we met up with this other couple, and he was a
After you drink like six,
after we
seven
drank.
shots.
He was on the boat because we're on a little tour, snorkeling, and so we started. Nobody wanted to drink, so I was like, well, let's get the party started. I didn't pay all this money just to not enjoy it.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was pretty choppy waters out there.
Okay.
So we're on our way back and drinking, and we met with this other couple. He was I think
NFL.
Houston, Texas NFL player.
Trusted
wow.
my
Yeah.
Spanish.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, we'll go with you guys to the restaurant because Michelle's fluent. And
Oh,
so
okay.
we go out there, we take a taxi out to this local restaurant off the beat path with tourist spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess by the time we got there, I felt myself kind of gone and
Yeah, it
ended
was-
up in the bathroom for a while, hugging the toilet. But when you're in places like that,
Yeah, I'll put
you
yourself
don't know
like
what's
that.
going on because then you started feeling people started noticing it, seeing her, seeing the other guy.
Yeah.
I think our own saving grace was because he was like 6'5" and like 300-pound big dude that
Yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted to mess with him. So I thank the Lord every day for that one. It's like, oh, thank you.
But
We didn't-
situational
Yeah.
awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it comes back,
Lesson learned.
a couple of times it's happened. So I just don't put myself in that spot again. So
That's called wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, for real. Through
No,
experience.
yes, through experience, yes.
Heck
We've
yeah.
all.
Oh, we're loaded in it.
Not that
Yeah.
I don't enjoy having a good time, but I do it,
Responsibly.
responsibly.
Yeah,
you know.
at your own house or with your friends that
Those you
know-
trust, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well, then, what is your company? And don't mind the sound, everybody. We're all good. We're all good.
Yeah.
Reximus, anyway, behind the camera, Reximus. He is the guy that makes all this work. Hi, Reximus. You having a good day so far? All right. He said yes with his middle finger.
It was my thumb.
Yeah, no,
I'm just
sorry.
confused because my pinky's in a brace.
What is exactly your company and what services do you provide?
Yeah.
Just briefly, and then, like I said, we'll expand on that later
Well,
on.
it's we're a private security company. It's
Okay.
called Divergent Security Solutions, and we're going into our third year.
Okay.
And we provide private security to, families, businesses, small businesses, concerts, special events. A lot of big things coming up.
Yeah.
And a lot of things we've done in the past. So we try to build a relationship. So that's how I see a business. A business is a relationship. It's not so much about offering a service. It's just I'm here to help you because you need a service. And we want to bring you into that family environment, that relationship. Besides our relationship with our officers, relationship with our clients, because they have their families and they have their employees that are entrusting us.
Yeah.
Security gets a bad name sometimes. It's kind of like saying you see one bad apple, they're all bad apples,
All the
right?
same.
Well, yeah,
Everybody's
someone
the
takes
same.
out the old club or tasing people, and
nobody's
they're all
Being
like that.
stupid at a strip club, Yeah.
Well, and that's
Yeah. And you pick
we'll
and
get
choose,
into that. Sometimes that's
yeah.
with training. Sometimes
Yes.
It is lack of training, lack of the officer trying to take him, taking the
Situation
training
to
that he
hands.
needs and being situational aware.
Mm-hmm.
What can't you do? Know your boundaries. Know what you're capable of and what you're not. If you feel like you're going to that point, like we'd never try to leave our officers alone. We really don't. A lot
Okay.
of more clients are like, I just want one because I can't pay for two.
Sure.
So it comes down to how good of a judgment that officer has and the training they receive. So we're always looking for new places to train and try to reiterate those trainings.
It never ends. The training never
Yeah.
ends. Yeah.
And it's just like
Okay.
they're constantly over, getting training. But a lot of it's in the field. I mean, you don't know until it happens, right? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what I always say. It's it's not proactive. It's reactive,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Nobody
our saying,
needs
yeah.
security until something happens.
Yeah.
You don't need a police officer until something
why
happens,
wait? Yeah.
right? So.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm excited to learn about this because I don't know much about it, and we talked behind the scenes and I'm like, I think you have a really cool business. Not a lot of people said no. Like you guys usually just a lot of times probably want to blend in
Yes.
at events, or whatever you're doing. But like I said, I'm excited to learn about this, and I hope that others are as well. Lastly, what advice would you? I know you've only been in business for a few years, but what advice would you give to another small business owner or someone thinking about starting a business?
Learn to say no.
Okay, that's simple, huh?
Learn to
It
say
is.
no,
I mean,
yeah.
learn to say no. I mean, because you get eager and you take on a lot of work. Like I tell a lot of clients that we're a small business. We have a certain set amount of people. Yes, I can contract on the side, people on the side, but then I don't know the quality of the performance, and it tags onto.
Yeah,
Divergent.
represents you
yeah,
guys.
So I will have to say no to some business because we're not ready yet. Or we're not there yet.
Okay.
There's some that are big and they dangle above your head, and you're like, oh. So you'll grab a ticket and run with it.
Yeah.
I think it goes off of what does your gut tell you? Your Jiminy Cricket. What does it tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Is it
It's
going to
tough.
work or not work?
Making a small business is,
It's not easy.
if everybody can do it, it'd be done.
Well, that's
There's
right.
A lot. I mean,
If we-
just besides capital, you just need get the right tools, the right people.
When you don't learn unless you make mistakes,
Yeah.
which is the crappy part
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that client sucked. But now we know
Shoulda,
our
coulda.
radars up for
Yeah.
these type of events or people. Like we just, or never mind. We'll talk about that later.
We sit there and look at it and you can see how big businesses run.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, they got CPAs, they got, lawyers and stuff like that, and it's great, but you have to build up to that. You can't get it all at one time.
No,
You
well,
can
that
see why
costs-
they have them all, though.
Yes.
Going through there,
Yeah,
so.
things can go sideways really quick, so you need to have that protection. So, well, I think that's wonderful. You guys kind of touched on a few things. So we're going to delve further into this. If you want to watch further videos, Michelle and Michael here are going to tell us a little bit further about themselves. Please watch I think you guys have a compelling story. I'm looking forward to hearing some more about everything about you guys, and so we'll see you on the next one.